Okay, picture this. You're in a huge hospital. Suddenly, the entire network just goes dark. We're talking no patient records, no communication, nothing. And every single minute that ticks by, the stakes get higher and higher. So yeah, let's dive right into this digital detective story.
So imagine you're the new network consultant. It's your first day, and this happens. There's zero documentation, no network diagrams, and absolutely nobody has a clue how anything is connected. The pressure is on big time. You've got to solve this, and you've got to do it now. So, what do?
And this isn't just, about getting the Wi-Fi back up. This quote from the person who lived this story, it's absolutely terrifying. We're talking about a potential life or death situation. Every single second counts.
So, let's meet Karen. She's a senior network consultant, and she is the hero of our story. And yeah, she walked right into this exact nightmare scenario. A critical hospital network is failing, and she is flying completely blind.
So get this. The administrator who built the whole thing, he got fired. And when he walked out the door, he took all the network maps and documentation with him. Gone. This means Karen has literally no idea what the network looks like. How do you even begin to troubleshoot that?
But Karen has a secret weapon, a kind of digital detective that's built right into every piece of Cisco equipment. It's called the Cisco Discovery Protocol, or CDP for short, and believe me, it is about to save the day.
So what exactly is CDP? Well, think of it like a really friendly neighbor. By default, every Cisco device is constantly just shouting out a little message, saying, "Hey, I'm this router over here, and I'm plugged into your port over there." It's basically how these devices introduce themselves to each other.
All right, so let's follow along. We're going to see exactly how Karen uses this tool to start mapping this totally invisible network. It's all about using a couple of really simple commands to gather clues and, piece this whole puzzle together. Okay, first rule of any investigation. You gotta know where you're starting from. Before Karen can find out about any neighbors, she needs to know about the device she's plugged into right now. And for that, she uses the command show running config. And boom, here's what she gets. This output shows her the IP address for every single connection point or interface on her router, which is called lab_A. These are our first pins on the map. We have a starting point. Now for the magic trick. Now that she knows her own info, Karen can use CDP to ask the million-dollar question. So, who are you talking to? And the command for that is show CDP neighbors.
And just look at this output. It is beautiful. It's a perfect list of every single Cisco device that's plugged directly into a router. It tells her their name, which of her own ports they're on, and even which of their ports is connected to her. It's literally a phone book for the network. And just like that, mystery solved. By putting together the clues from those first two commands, Karen can instantly sketch out a map of the core network. She knows exactly what's connected to what. The invisible has just become visible. Now, with a map in hand, it's time to dig a little deeper. Right, because just knowing the connections isn't quite enough. To actually manage these devices and fix the problem, Karen needs their IP addresses. The Show CDP Neighbor Detail command lets her dive in deeper, giving her not just the connections, but the IP addresses and even the software version of every neighbor.
Now here's a little pro tip, something really interesting on this slide. Both of these commands give you a ton of information, but Show CDP Entry Star has this really nifty trick. You can add filters to show only the IP addresses, or only the software version. It's a great way to cut through all the noise and get right to what you need.
So, Karen's got her map. She's got the IP addresses of the problem devices. What's next? Well, she can't just look at them, she needs to take control. And this is where a classic tool called Telnet comes into play.
Telnet is basically a virtual console cable. It lets you type commands into a router or a switch that's miles away, as if you were sitting right there next to it in the data center. It's the absolute key to taking action on everything that CDP just discovered.
But of course, the moment she tries to connect, she's probably going to hit this roadblock. This error is so common. It's a security feature. Cisco devices, they won't let you Telnet in unless a password has been set up on these things called VTY lines. So, no password, no entry. Simple as that.
So, once she gets the password sorted out, Karen can log in. But remember, she's in a crisis. She needs to work on multiple routers at the same time. So how does she do that without opening up like a dozen different windows and just getting totally lost? Well, here is the technique that lets a network pro truly multitask under pressure. You press a funny key combination, Control-Shift-6, let go, and then press X. This suspends your connection without closing it. It drops you right back to your first router, and from there you can connect to another one. Then just type Show Sessions, and you can see all your open connections and jump between them. It's like having browser tabs for your network.
Now, typing in IP addresses all day is just asking for typos. This slide shows us 2 ways to use device names instead. A host table is kind of like a little address book you have to manually type into every single router. It works if you have, like, 3 devices, but for a hospital with hundreds, no way. That's why a DNS server is so critical. It's one central, powerful address book for the entire network.
So, let's bring this all together. What Karen used to pull that hospital back from the brink, it's an absolutely essential toolkit for any network professional. It's this amazing power combo of CDP and Telnet.
So the huge takeaway here is this simple but incredibly effective 1-2 punch. First, you discover. You use CDP to map out the chaos and figure out what's where. Then you manage. You use Telnet to get in there and fix things. This combination turns a total crisis into a documented, manageable network.
And let's never forget why any of this really matters. This isn't just about technology. As Karen herself reminds us, these skills have very real-world consequences. Mastering a tool like CDP could, quite literally, help you save a life one day.
And that leaves us with one final thought to chew on. CDP is always running. Your devices are constantly chattering away, introducing themselves to each other. So the question is, what hidden conversations, what unknown connections are happening on your network right now?